bidding to make the break from the middle reaches of the second division. Preston North End and Sheffield Wednesday, meeting incidentally for the first time for 11 seasons. The Preston lineup is the same as it's been for the past 4 matches. The men who battled so valiantly against Tottenham in the League Cup on Monday night, the men who pulled off a fine win at Middlesbrough last Saturday. Manager Alan Ball seems to have found here a useful blend of youth and experience, and in that department they've been outstandingly well served by Alan Spavin, who's been a first-teamer for 12 seasons since his debut against Arsenal in 1966, and the club recognises loyal service on Monday night with a testimonial match against Manchester City. Sheffield Wednesday, they really have settled into an unchanged side. This is the same lineup now for the 9th successive game, a lineup that has lifted them in 8 unbeaten matches from 22nd in the table to 12th, and that has already stemmed from 2 signings that they made from Coventry City. One, Brian Joycey, a 25-year-old, who scored the winning goal in the Amateur Cup final in 1969 before turning professional with Coventry, and his clubmate from Coventry, Dave Clements, made his first appearance for Wednesday after Coventry had been paid £55,000 for him in August. Capped by Northern Ireland at every level, schools, youth, amateur, under 23 and 22 full caps. Gordon Hill, the referee from Leicester, blows the whistle for Preston in the white shirts to kick off from left to right. Sheffield Wednesday in their alternative strip, all in orange, shirts, shorts and socks. Goalkeeper Peter Grammett. Joycey in action to start with and putting Sinclair in, but the whistle had gone for a foul. Free kick to Wednesday. Peter Rodriguez with the free kick. Prendergast getting a header in and over the top from Joycey. Goalkeeper Alan Kelly for Preston, another of their loyal servants, been with them more than 13 years. Fullback McMahon. McElmoyle. John Bird. Bird, who played so well last time we saw them here earlier this season. Former Doncaster Rovers player. Lyle beaten. Clements. Tommy Craig. Beautiful ball from Craig. Pull back for Joycey. No foul. Preston certainly not looking at all organised at the moment. Players getting in each other's way. The passes not finding men. Alan Ball in that box over there, a little bit edgy on the extreme right-hand side of that picture. Compulsive smoker. Prophet. Clark. Hepelette, good work. And a good tackle back by Pugh. McElmoyle for Clark, playing it very tight, trying to get out of that touchline. Spavin's throw, finding McMahon, booted away by Craig. Hawkins. Epaulette's header, nobody following up. Prophet's clearance. Sissons for Wednesday, giving it to Epaulette. Still got Clemens to beat. Lyle hits the referee, Gordon Hill down, but all right, and waving play on. Prendergast for Wednesday. Alan Kelly. Clements. Prendergast and Hawkins, and it's Hawkins' foot there first. Limping a little bit as he goes back into the middle. Craig to take the throw in. Clements. Pushed off by Heppelet. Indirect free kick for Clements to take. He's leaving it for Johnny Sissons. Sissons, a player with memories that Preston are unlikely to forget. He scored the first goal against them in the 1964 Cup final when West Ham beat Preston 3-2. And here, another injury. A game that has had precious little opportunity to settle into any rhythm at all. Offsides, fouls and injuries causing frequent hold-ups. So Hawkins is all right. Sissons with the free kick. Good catch by Kelly. Lyle. And offside. Picked out of the air well by McMahon. Profit leaving the throw in for Pugh. Pugh being called back. Off Prendergast's foot, so a throw to Preston. Ricky Heppelet to take it. McMahon giving it away. Sissons. Good tackle by Heppelet, pushing it on for Clark. And Clark brought down, but no penalty. Now Joycey for Wednesday. Sinclair, Pugh outside him. Two men in the middle, Prendergast and Joycey. Prendergast is coming for it, and Kelly's fist, Sinclair's shot, but the whistle had gone for a foul on Kelly by Prendergast. Lyle. Spavin to Heppelet. Pugh's tackle. McMahon. Not a bad try. John McMahon. Spavin. Off Craig into touch for a Preston throw. Grummet with the goal kick. Prendergast's header for Craig. Clark. Some tenacious tackling by Craig. And the final Craig, and the final tackle not pleasing Mr. Hill. Plenty of men from there forward for Preston now, including Bird, who's come up. Holsgrove's header away, helped on by Pugh. Prendergast. Hawkins. Hawkins again. Holsgrove again. Ritchie not controlling it well enough. Spavin in quickly to set Clark free, and Clark tripped by Joycey. Play waved on. Ingram. And Pugh beaten by Bird's high one for Clark, and it's out of play. It's John Bird who was charging through the middle there. Rodrigues in the air, and Rodrigues into touch. No, it's kept in by Clark. Now it's out, and Clark will take the throw. No, he leaves it for Spavin. Ritchie to McMahon. Bird. And we go into injury time in this first half. And a chance now for Clark. Couldn't turn quickly enough, and Rodrigues was in like a whippet. But a free kick given for some infringement in there. You hardly see him able to get into the penalty area without troubling Mr. Hill. Craig with the throw-in. Out of play by Bird. Joycey thinks about taking the throw in and then leaves it for Craig. Prendergast on his own in the middle. Joycey still trying to help it over to him. But it's a goal kick. And with just over a minute of injury time added on, Mr. Hill brings the first half to an end. And a very unsatisfactory first half it's been, with something like a couple of dozen stoppages for fouls, the trainers on half a dozen times, and when there have been promising opportunities, often they've broken down because the basic skills have not been all they might be. The conditions on the top of the pitch probably not helping the players, but certainly there'll be a lot of thinking and talking to do in those dressing rooms at half-time. As they go in, the scoreline reads Preston North End 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Well, did you enjoy that? No? No, it hasn't. A goalless first half then, and a second half starting with both sides feeling that they need to do something to prove themselves. Preston to establish that the form they showed at Middlesbrough last Saturday and against Tottenham on Monday is their true form, and Wednesday anxious to continue the run that's taken them halfway up the table from last place. Let's see what Preston can do now as Ingram gives it to McMahon. Clements. Spavin. McElmoy. Heppolet's header, Clark trying to turn with the ball. Pugh. Ritchie for McMahon. Hawkins not as mobile as he might be, and the booing a little unjust. Kelly for Preston. Bird. That was a foul on Clark by Holsgrove. "15 minutes of the second half gone. Spavin. Grummett coming for it and not making it. Heppolet! Alan Spavin, who's been pushing in those free kicks, that time hit a long high one that dropped tantalisingly short of Grummett, who never really looked like making the punch. And as the ball drops loose, in goes Heppolet to score his second goal of the season and put Preston 1-0 ahead 16 minutes into the second half. Heppolet's only previous goal this season scored against Luton in August. Bird's header. Now Wednesday must press. Ritchie, Lyle, Heppolet, Pugh to Sissons. Prendergast. And that will no doubt lead to rather more cheerful feelings over there. And though it may not make this into a good game, it might still make it into a better game. Craig. Now Joycey, deflected, Sinclair. Don't blame Sinclair, that ball was probably spinning from the deflection and it was almost out of his reach anyway. Hawkins, Prophet, Sissons. Lyle coming in to challenge, and the cross hit too hard, and Ritchie puts it out for a corner. Sheffield Wednesday's second corner of the game. Sinclair taking it. The ball's come loose, nobody knows where it is. It's like a rugby scrum there. Banged in and Kelly was in the way. Holsgrove's shot really hit it. Prophet's header, and again Epaulet for Preston. McElmoyle on his right, Lyle with him. McElmoyle's cross, the linesman flagging as Epaulet shoots. The whistle had gone. And at least there's a real heart beating under this game now. Craig, Bird, Lyle's header, Prophet, too far for Craig, and I think now we're going to see a substitution by Sheffield Wednesday, and off goes Johnny Sissons, and on comes Alan Thompson, one of the ones who got away from Merseyside, captain of Liverpool boys when they won the English Schools Trophy 4 seasons ago. Joined Sheffield Wednesday in '67. So Alan Thompson on then in place of John Sissons. Sinclair. Ingram back to Kelly. Come back to Mark Rodrigues. And there's substitute Alan Thompson. Epaulet. A foul against Thompson, who is going to be booked. The young substitute only on the field for some 10 minutes. Fouling Epaulet after the ball had gone. So John Ritchie to take the free kick. Grommett's got it at the second attempt. Bounced off his knees the first time. Sparks' first contribution is a push in the back and then a push in the chest. Thompson. Prendergast kept his balance well there, but couldn't find the goal with his shot. Again, Wednesday come forward as the game reaches its last minute. Sparks' header. Sinclair back to Clements. The ball in again for Wednesday. And Preston just prepared to die in front of the goal now. Bird has gone down, having taken a ball in his midriff, and Ingram earns Preston some respite by bringing the ball away. Ritchie now couldn't move with it quickly enough, and Rodrigues robbed him. Thompson. Ingram again. Bird is on his feet but looking very uncomfortable. Ingram still taking a a lot of time and finding Wednesday finding it difficult to dispossess him. We're now in injury time in this second half. Players trying to attack the referee's attention to the fact that the trainer wants to come on to Bird. Craig. Rodriguez. Bird will be glad to get rid of the ball. He's holding his hip, which is troubling him. Thompson's tackle. Preston's throw-in. Ritchie. Spavin loses it over the line, so it's Wednesday's throw. Clements. Prendergast. Clements lobbing it forward. And it's a goal kick. The linesman's flag was raised, it may have been offside. The crowd now getting impatient for the whistle. We've played a minute and a half over the 45. Lyle to Clark. And that is the final whistle. And Sheffield Wednesday beaten for the first time in 9 games by Preston, who record their 3rd successive win. And now what's happening? The linesman has called the referee's attention to something, and in fact I think they're going to play on again. Really quite extraordinary scenes here. The linesman has certainly had something to say to the referee. Mr. Hill has sent him back to the line. There are spectators all over the place. Well, by my watch, it's now 47.5 minutes since we kicked off in this half. And we are certainly going to have some more football. Really don't understand why it needed the linesman to come into that at all. And now Holsgrove for Wednesday. Lyle. There seems to be a theory that the reason for the consultation between the linesman and the referee was that a free kick that was awarded was taken by Wednesday when it should have been taken by Preston, or vice versa. I'm really not sure in this extraordinary finish to this game. And now here's McElmoyle going through, and he's put it wide. Well, the whistle has gone and everybody here has swarmed over the touchline again, and it looks as though Mr. Hill has decided that that really is the end. And so now we can do the tidying up of the statistics. Sheffield Wednesday beaten for the first time in 9 games. Preston's 3rd successive league victory, coming about as a result of a goal half an hour from time by Ricky Hefferlet. The final score then, Preston North End 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Well, it certainly wasn't a very good game, but from Preston's point of view, it was certainly a good result. And you somehow have to strike a balance between those two things. And I wonder how their manager, Alan Ball, feels about it in those terms.
Well, I disagree that it wasn't a good game. For me, when we win, it's a good game. There's no bad games anyway. I would say that it was, you know, the game was difficult because Sheffield Wednesday had a magnificent run, you know. They've gone about 8 or 9 games without defeat, and they came here intent on not losing. And we came here, we played them, intent on not letting them beat us, and perhaps we got a stalemate. Conditions underfoot are very, very heavy, as you can see, and the blustery, swirling wind didn't help. But I would say, in effort-wise, you know, you've got to give 22 players 10 out of 10, surely.
Yes, I don't think that any player deliberately comes on the park to play badly, and I don't think anybody did that today, but an awful lot of passes went astray, for instance.
As I say, the wind, you know, is to blame for this quite a bit, and tension to a team that haven't been beaten for a time, and we're just becoming very proud of ourselves again and we had a hell of a game, you know, last Monday night. Took an awful lot out of us, went to extra time with Tottenham Hotspur. And for me, it's been a good day. You know, I feel that this was going to be a battle right from the start of the week. We started to talk about Sheffield. We knew it would be hard. We rose to the occasion. They've got great players in their side that they paid a lot of money for. I would say they were, you know, 100,000 for Craig, and you know, my best buy must be about, what, 20,000 for Macklemore. And therefore, against great players, you don't attempt to play them at, you know, football, clever football, or ball-playing football. You play a tight game at the back, and you probe up front and hope you'll get something from this, and we did finally.
You feel that your spectators are prepared to go along with you playing that sort of game?
When you win, they'll always go along with you.
Sure. What about the top of this second division? It seems to me that there are an awful lot of teams there with very little between them. Who do you fancy?
I fancy us to win next Saturday. I don't look any further than this. But if you want to know the best side we've played, I would say Burnley. This side are a good side and we'll be near at the death. Birmingham City, spending a lot of money. They must have, you know, a lot of money to spend. And don't underestimate Middlesbrough. But I think that we will do well because we battle, we fight when they've got the ball. And when we've got it, you know, we're not sluggish. We play a bit. You ask Tottenham.
Alan Ball, thank you very much. I hope your efforts are rewarded later in the season.
Thank you.
Well, that's our news then from Deepdale, Preston, but we're also going to see today highlights of one of the big games in the First Division, the match played at Highbury where Arsenal were at home to Manchester City. The pictures come from London Weekend Television and the commentator is Brian Moore.
Graham, Story, Charlie George, and now Book, Bell, Lee. Summerby outside him, Bell skipping through the middle. As for Bell and McClintock. Story, Bradford. Just these two Arsenal strikers and George Armstrong, and there's a good ball there from Bradford to Armstrong. Taking on and beating Booth, but giving enough of the ball there for Oakes to get in for Manchester City. Oh, but he's beaten them as well. Good play there, and a header there, just past. Oh, by Radford, and a beautiful cross though by Armstrong towards that near post. A tremendous run by Radford. And Radford really so close to putting Arsenal ahead. All the virtues of Armstrong's play there as he fought and kept possession of that ball, and even fought when it looked a sure thing that Oakes would get it from him. Now Mellor. George Graham. Well, that would have been a goal that the game at the moment badly needed. Armstrong. Oakes. Summerby. George Graham. And Arsenal a little slow to react to that one. And Tony Book. Back to Corrigan. Wyn Davis versus Roberts, and Roberts put under so much pressure. And Lee very nearly getting in there. Kennedy misjudging that one, but it'll fall for Charlie George in turn for Story. Played off there for Rice. And Rice couldn't withstand that second challenge by Donaghy, but it was an unfair one, and it gives Arsenal the free kick. 2, 4, 6 Arsenal players are forward for this one. The free kick from Pat Rice towards George Graham, and he couldn't quite get ahead to it. And now it's Summerby to bring it away for Manchester City. Book, long stride of his. Bell. Book again. And Boo. And Roberts that time getting in before Wyn Davies and finding George Armstrong. A flick there for Nelson. Armstrong. Story. Oh, taking far too long, and it's now Colin Bell for Manchester City to Willie Donaghy. Lee. Bell. Charlie George to knock that one down for George Graham. Armstrong. Story. Armstrong again. Nelson. And Arsenal's throw. Such strong competition now that Nelson's going to face now that Bob McNabb is getting fit again. Great strength in this Arsenal first-team squad. Armstrong, nicely kept in. Oh, and he was partially obstructed there by Somerby, but he kept going, and it took Colin Bell right back there to get it away. Now it's Booth. McClintock, George. Kennedy, who really hasn't made too much impact on the game so far, being closely watched by that number 6, Alan Oakes. Oh, but he played well there to find Charlie George, and George couldn't quite find McClintock. Kennedy now. Bradford trying to put it through for Charlie George. Oh, and he was far too impetuous probably with that one, but the linesman was flagging in any case, and maybe Charlie George had heard the whistle. But it looked as though he intended taking the net and all with that one. Lee. Roberts chasing him into touch. City's throw. Council of war there between the 3 Manchester City players. 3 of their senior professionals, Lee, Bell and Book. And it's Bell with the throw. When you can find somebody free to throw it to, it's Miller. And you wouldn't think he was particularly free with 3 Arsenal players in such close attendance, but he made something of it. But now it's George Graham for Arsenal. Off Bell and into touch. Quarter of an hour of the second half gone, half an hour to go, and still 0-0. Bradford taking a fair buffeting from the back by Booth on that occasion. Now Radford with a space opening up ahead of him. But he didn't begin to catch it properly, and he had a lot of ground to make in any case. He was, what, 25 yards, I suppose, from the Manchester City goal. So Donaghy now for Manchester City. Miller. Clintock doing well. Bell. Now Charlie George, with Donaghy off in pursuit. Inside for Radford, and he's got Kennedy up with him. Still Radford, and he's got Armstrong over on this left-hand side, unmarked, and too high. He might have had time to have set it himself a little more, because certainly there was no City player within, what, 7, 8, 10 yards of him. But a good piece of play by Armstrong running into that position, and good play also by Charlie George and Radford that set it up for him. Certainly if Arsenal are going to make 1.2, I think it's the likes of Charlie George and George Graham dominating the middle of the field that are going to do it. It's George Graham, in fact, going for that one, winning it in the air. Armstrong to tuck it on again. Tommy Booth. McClintock, but straight there for Somerby. Wyn Davies outside him, and George Graham coming back to challenge, and Somerby getting up and doing very well indeed. And a shot there straight at Wilson. Well, a bit of dogged play there by Mike Somerby as well. Lawn picked himself up and then got in his shot. Kennedy. Handball against Donaghy. Arsenal's free kick.
McClintock, the skipper, to take it. Aiming towards Kennedy. But he couldn't knot it down for Charlie George. Roberts going in powerfully, and again he is penalised. His elbows were too high on the back of Wyn Davis. What a great battle these two have had all afternoon. Bell rather, not quite getting onto the end of that one, but a good run. And Nelson to Wilson. Radford once more. Armstrong. Charlie George. Kennedy. Challenged by Bell was too strong for Story. Lee. Catching McClintock off balance for a moment. All between the legs of George Graham for Colin Bell. Bearing down hard on that goal. Rice. Kennedy. Bounce of the ball, looked for a moment as though it was going to beat Donaghy, but he matched it. Ball still in play, and Roberts predictably back to Wilson. Linesman flagging that Donaghy was pushing Kennedy in the back. Charlie George is going to take it. It looks like he's going to take it quickly, but he wasn't taking it from the right place. So McClintock to take it. Radford to try and get to it. Armstrong. George Graham. Nelson. And not it away. Now Charlie George, can he do something? Can he do it again? No, but it's a corner. Fairly hard in the face, and in fact Pat Rice is also getting a bit of attention at the same time. Both are okay again, and it's Armstrong with the corner for Arsenal. George Graham was there once more, but in fact the foul against George Graham. Roberts, Bell, Summerby versus Nelson, and the throw to Manchester City. Mellor, McClintock. Oh, Radford stopping that one. And now Kennedy. His strength against the strength of Oakes, and Kennedy winning that one, but getting a corner. Booth have recovered very quickly. Good, strong, challenging run though by Ray Kennedy. That's got the North Bank cheering. And Armstrong to take the corner. Roberts has gone there, sprinting into the box. It's a deep one out there towards Radford. Now McClintock. And now Nelson. And Nelson! And it's given! City standing bewildered. Nelson himself seemed to hesitate for a moment, but the smile tells everything now, and the goal is given. Colin Bell having a fierce word there with the referee, and the referee's eyes are blazing. clearly feeling that Nelson was offside. So his first goal, putting Arsenal ahead and breaking the deadlock. George Graham, Roberts right up there. Can Roberts get in one? No! Charlie George trying to stop it before it goes out and turn it back first time, but Doyle now. And City at the moment a little bit at odds with each other and needing just a moment of breathing space to reform. But I can't think that Arsenal are going to give it to them. McClintock now to Kennedy. Summerby. Far too far ahead of Lee. Well, that poses problems there for Malcolm Allison and Joe Mercer. Radford turning it nicely off for George Armstrong. Oakes. Relief, I would have thought, from Steve Burtonshaw. He must have wondered how he was going to find a way past Manchester City. Well, it was done under controversial terms, but it's a goal that can count, so now it's Oakes. Doyle. And that's past the Arsenal post. Could well see more and more of Mike Doyle coming forward now as City try and do something about this one-goal deficit. Urging more effort now from Manchester City as Bob Wilson takes this goal kick. Rice quicker than anybody to react to that one, but not a very good pass. Oakes. And now Mellor. And a goal! Beautifully taken by Ian Mellor. A wonderful economy of effort after he was put through. A real streaking ground shot, giving Wilson no chance. And the ball for Lee, who's going through at a tremendous pace, and Rice did exactly the right thing there. Turning it away for the corner. Giving other defenders a chance to come back. It was Rice against Lee, and the slightest slip could have let Francis Lee in. Number 5, Tommy Booth, has gone chugging into that Arsenal penalty area once more, looking to get ahead to that one, but in fact it's Kennedy putting it away there. Story, and nearly putting it into his own goal. Wilson needing to tip that one over. Story, in fact, glancing that one back under pressure from Francis Lee. And so another corner then to Manchester City. Summerby with the corner. And Wilson catching it well. Donaghy and Doyle combining very neatly there. Donaghy taking it up again. Doyle missing it completely, but finding the angle is right to try and get Tony Book away. Bell couldn't get past Story. Lee could. Characteristic Francis Lee flick. Now Oakes. Summerby. Donaghy. Everybody but Corrigan in that Arsenal half. Bell getting above them all. And now Lee. Hitting one across there. And it's there by Colin Bell. So coming from behind now to lead by 2 goals to 1. A low, devastating cross by Francis Lee, and Colin Bell getting in on the end of it.
So there, a cracking goal by Colin Bell and a very good result indeed for Manchester City, and the pace at the top of the First Division as unrelenting as ever. Well, that's all we have for you this week. We hope that you'll join us again next Sunday afternoon at 2:05. Till then, goodbye.